Today we're going to work on mastering one of the more advanced Pilates moves, the Pilates teaser. The teaser can be done on the mat and on the reformer. I'm going to show you both and give you tips for both, but it's really important that you master it on the mat first before you even attempt it on some equipment. Something you should understand about the teaser is it is challenging for a lot of people for a few different reasons. It requires a lot of hamstring flexibility. It requires a lot from your hip flexors, a lot of core control, and a lot of abdominal strength. So it's okay if your teaser isn't perfect to start. In order to have a successful teaser, you really need to break down the components of the foundational moves and master those first. So I'm going to take you through some progression exercises that I would recommend to get a really solid teaser. The first thing that you want to practice is what it feels like to balance on your tailbone. This is one of the key components of a teaser because you're balancing in that V shape with your chest lifted and your legs lifted. So first I want you to find your sit bones at the top here. We're going to grab behind our hamstrings. We're going to find our sit bones with a really tall spine. I want you to hinge yourself back slightly. We're going to round through our spine, hollowing out our abs, engaging our core, and then I want you to lift and find your tailbone again for balance. Straightening out your spine, keeping your chest proud. Let's do a few more of those. You're gonna roll yourself back, starting from your sit bones, roll yourself back, keep your abs really active here, hollowing out your abs as if someone is punching you through your belly, keeping a really round C curve. And then I want you to straighten your back out, find a balance of your tailbone, open your chest really proud, all while flexing your core really tight. So that's step one. For step two, we're gonna start to play around with what it feels like to take some of the stability away. So we're gonna move one leg at a time. We're gonna do the same thing, grabbing behind your hamstrings. You're gonna round through your spine. You're gonna lift one leg up as you balance on that tailbone, chest proud, abs engaged, and then you'll switch. Roll yourself back, find that C curve, and we'll switch. So keep playing around with what it feels like to really round here, lift your leg, find the balance of your tailbone while keeping your chest proud. Hinge yourself back, find the balance, keep it tight, and lower yourself back down. And repeat. Now, I'm someone who has a great deal of hip flexor issues, so my teaser is gonna start to look a little wobbly, and that is okay. All of our bodies are different. We all have different challenges in different ways. So the next thing I want you to play around with is what it feels like to balance on your tailbone with both legs lifted. And this is when it's gonna get a little wobbly for me, because this is one that I really struggle with when my hips are in this deep of a bend. So what we're gonna do here, same thing. We start with that round. We're gonna find that tailbone. We're gonna lift both legs, flatten out our back, hinge back, chest proud, core in really tight, and we lower it back. So again, we're aiming for that balance. We're finding the balance. We're lifting our chest here, holding with our abdominals engaged, and lowering ourselves back down. So practice a few of those. And these are all designed to be progressions. So you're gonna start with the early moves, then you're gonna keep advancing. Once you feel like you have a really solid handle of those moves, I would say like 8 to 10 reps, then you'll move on to the next variation. So we're here, let's do a few more with the double legs up. Find the balance, hold. And you can even explore what it feels like if your balance is feeling really solid here. Start to extend your legs a little bit higher as you hold through your hamstrings. So extend and bend, because this is what we're getting to at the top of our teaser. So for the next variation, I want you to recruit a partner or a friend to help you, because this is one that you're gonna need someone to help you stabilize, and we're gonna practice using our abdominal strength to help us lift our chest up. So imagine I have a partner here, they're gonna grab onto my ankles, I'm gonna find the floor at the bottom, they're holding onto my ankles in this tabletop position of my legs. I'm gonna find a nod for my ab curl, I'm gonna roll myself up, ab curl up, find a balance on my tailbone while they help me stabilize with my legs, flatten out that spine like we were practicing, balancing on our tailbone, core in really tight, and lower ourselves back down. You'll notice with them helping you stabilize through your legs, it gets a little bit easier to move just your chest up and down. So practice with a partner for a while, really focusing on your ab curl as you lift, finding the balance without any momentum, straightening out your spine at the top, hinging back to find that tailbone right behind your tailbone for balance, and then lower yourself back down. You're doing great. Once you've mastered that, we're gonna move on. Now you don't need a partner anymore, and we're gonna play around with what it feels like to lift your chest and your leg at the same time. So we're gonna lie all the way down, right foot firmly planted into the ground, left leg extended. I want you to find that ab curl again. We're gonna lift our chest up. We're gonna plant through that right foot. We're gonna find a lift with that left leg and lower it down. And let's incorporate proper arms here. So let's inhale to prepare. We're gonna exhale, find that lift. Hold at the top, leg long, spine long, find that balance of your tailbone, core in really tight, lower yourself back down. And repeat, inhale to prepare, exhale to lift. Root yourself through that foot, find that balance, straighten out your spine, chest proud, abs really tight flex, hollowed out here, and then lower yourself back down. And practice a few of those, switching legs each and every time. Once you've mastered that, you're ready to start practicing with both legs. I recommend starting off practicing your teaser with bent knees, so we'll start there. Then you'll progress to your full-blown teaser where your legs extend and your chest lifts. Let's try it out here with both legs staying bent. So we're gonna inhale to prepare. We're gonna exhale, we're gonna find our tailbone, find that balance, spine long, just like how we started. Remember, we were supporting our legs. Now we've gotten so strong, we don't even need the support of our legs. We can keep our spine really long, our core in tight, our left chest open, and lower yourself back down. Let's repeat. Inhale to prepare, exhale to lift. Everything comes up. Hold, find the balance, spine long, core tight. Breathe and exhale. Now let's see if I can get a full-blown teaser. My hips are already screaming at me, so this may not look great, but I'll show you ideally what it looks like when you extend both legs. You find that inhalation. We're gonna exhale. We lift. Everything comes together. See, I barely got it. Lower it down. And that's a good testament to the fact that your teaser may not be perfect, and that's okay. All of our bodies are super different. Hamstring tightness, hip flexor issues, abdominal strength. There are a lot of factors at play. Just keep practicing, keep working towards the strongest teaser that you can get for your body. And that's how you master the teaser on the mat. Now we're gonna move on to mastering it on the Reformer. Welcome back to Reform Your Form, where I help you with easy tips to improve your Pilates practice. And today we're gonna break down the Reformer teaser. Before you even attempt a teaser on the Reformer, I recommend you really make sure you have it mastered on the mat first, because it is much more challenging when you incorporate a box, a higher elevation, and you really have to balance. So definitely nail your teaser on the floor first before you start with this video to master it on the Reformer. The first move I like to start my clients with is short box abs. This will help me really assess their abdominal strength to ensure that they have enough strength to really lift up into that teaser position. So you're gonna take your short box, place it on your Reformer, put all of your springs on so that your carriage stays really still. You're gonna find your safety strap and you're going to hook your feet underneath this safety strap. And from here, we're gonna do two variations. I would recommend a roll down variation. So you're starting up tall on your sit bones, you're gonna hollow out your abdominals, you're gonna roll yourself back. And then from the furthest point, you're gonna nod and roll yourself forward. This motion that we're doing here is very similar to what you need to initiate in the teaser, so you definitely wanna make sure you're strong enough here. So you'll find that roll forward, reach, hollowing out your abs the entire time, keeping your core really tight. It's also teaching you to flex your legs, because you have to flex your legs to keep this safety strap in place. Also important to help you lift into that teaser. So you'll do a few of those, and then I also like to see how it feels to just do flat back. And again, this is just practicing your abdominal strength, but making sure without the support of the floor or anything behind you, you have the strength to lift on your own and find a nice balance. So I would do a few of these. And I also recommend incorporating your arms with them as well, because that is the motion for the full-blown teaser that you're gonna use. So I like to take my arms back and then bring my arms forward. If you wanted to level this up, you can grab some dumbbells, do the same thing, take it back and forward, and same thing with your roll down. You would roll it back and you would roll it forward. So once I establish abdominal strength, another thing I like to focus on with clients is what their arms should be doing, because there is quite a bit of coordination required in the teaser. So you're gonna find your long box. I like to do this on one red or a red and a yellow. You're gonna lie all the way down, bring your knees to tabletop, and we're just gonna practice your arms here. So I want you to start with your arms at your side. I want you to bring your arms to your hips, and then I want you to lift your arms up to the sky. So just start off with those arm circles, just to get a sense for what it feels like on this tension to move your arms to your hips and then to lift them up to the sky, because that is the direction that we're gonna be moving for our full-blown teaser. Another way I like to level this up is to incorporate an extension of your legs at the appropriate point, similar to what you would be doing for a teaser. So as your hands reach your hips, I like to do that extension, reach your legs out, and then bring everything back in. Hands to hips, extension, reach it out. So we're not focusing on our balance here. We're just starting to get comfortable with what the motion is between our arms and our legs. Now we're ready to practice with some reverse teaser work, because reverse teasers are actually easier than full-blown teasers, and you'll see why in a second. So you're gonna flip around and you're gonna face your rails. You're gonna grab pretty high on those ropes. The first thing I want you to focus on is finding a good balance of your sit bones to start. We're gonna work one leg at a time. So what we're gonna do here is find a lower by extending. Let's say we're gonna start with our left foot. So you're gonna lower with your chest, then you're gonna keep your right foot planted. So we're gonna go all the way down low, extending one leg, keeping one foot planted. From here, I want you to practice a nod of your chin, a curl, articulation through the top of your spine. You're gonna lift to find a balance right behind your tailbone. Keep that left leg extended, find that balance, keep your abdominals in, chest proud, and then lower yourself back down. So you'll notice in practicing this move that the straps are actually gonna help you here. They're gonna help lift you up, unlike in the other direction where they're working against you. So it's a great way to practice just getting that balance. So you're working one leg at a time. You're figuring out what your balance feels like. You're keeping your spine long, and then you're lowering yourself back down, really challenging your abdominal strength as you lift, articulating, finding that roll, lift to the top, straighten out that spine, lower it back down. Another thing I like to practice with my clients in this direction is what it feels like to move straps with control without creating any slack. A lot of people's biggest downfall in the teaser is the fact that at some point they create some sort of slack that makes them feel very imbalanced on top of this box. So I like to practice what it feels like to move straps with control. Although the motion is slightly different, like you're not going above your head with a teaser, but this will start to get people comfortable with the upper body strength required to keep some tension on those straps. It's very similar to the motion that we just did, except this time we're gonna move our hands above our head with it and create some circles there so we start to get comfortable with that circle motion, moving these straps with control. So you're gonna reach yourself back, reach your hands back behind, find a circle around and down, and we're gonna lift ourselves to find the top. Same thing, lower yourself down, you reach behind, still keeping your core really tight, flexing your legs, flexing your quads, and then come all the way up to find your balance. So this is just a good thing to practice just to feel that control of your straps. Now we're ready to flip back around and attempt the final move that I would recommend mastering before you progress to a full-blown teaser. This is a great modified variation of a teaser as well. If you're ever in class and asked to do a front-loading teaser and you're not ready for it, this is a great option. So you're gonna find a lying position on your long box. You're gonna use whatever springs you would use for your usual teaser. I like a red and a yellow, but it really depends on your body and your strength. You're gonna lie down on your box, find good positioning, grab for your loops behind you. For this move, it's gonna be single leg. So we're actually gonna keep one foot on the foot bar at all times. This is great because you don't have to really focus on balancing as much. You almost have that little kickstand of your left foot. So I'm gonna start off with my right foot extended above my foot bar. I'm gonna inhale to prepare. I'm gonna exhale, I'm gonna find that lift. Now I want you to make sure that you're not pushing off with that foot on the foot bar, that it's just there to spot you. It's just there to help you stay balanced. So keep that in mind. You're gonna find that inhale, that exhale, we lift, we find the top, we raise up just like we would for our regular teaser, and then we find that lower, staying as light as we can on that left foot. So you're just using the foot to spot. You're gonna practice each foot at a time, but it's starting to get you comfortable with what it feels like to move some straps while also trying to balance on that tailbone, but you have the support of your foot to not worry about falling off the machine. And those are all the tips that I would recommend to help you master your Reformer teaser. Like I mentioned in the mat video, make sure that you are practicing each of these moves. I would say get a solid 8 to 10 reps under your belt before you graduate to the next move. That way you're building the appropriate strength to bring all those moves together and get a really solid Reformer teaser.